Good morning, guys. Um, I've kind of been crying um up to this point, so I'm gonna do my best to hold it in because I try to do my makeup and stuff so I look presentable. I don't want to screw up. But this one is really, really hard for me to talk about. Um, I'm gonna start off with basically what shows up on this memorial website. It's actually like an obituary. Um, there's a little girl by the name of Adriana Kuch, Kuch. She was 14 years old, and she was from Bayville, New Jersey, which is in Ocean County, so it's south of where I live. Um, I want to start off by talking about her life before I talk about what absolutely never should have happened to this poor little girl. Never. I am so mad. And I feel for her because I remember what this feeling is like. I remember wanting to die because of the way somebody was treating you in school. When this first happened, I posted about it on my Facebook, and my mother said she didn't know what I was talking about, which it was a little bit hurtful to me because I thought she would remember exactly what I meant. It was a part of my life that I'm glad she doesn't remember because I wish that I could forget it, but I never did. Some of you guys from South River, if any of you are watching, you might know exactly who I'm talking about, but this girl made my life a living hell in high school. And I used the excuse that I didn't want to miss out on my prom because the truth of the matter is I didn't want to fight anybody. I never wanted to fight, but this girl wanted to kill me, basically. And they passed a rule my junior and senior years that if you're involved in any type of fight, you wouldn't be allowed to go to your prom, so that was my excuse. That was my out for why I didn't want to fight her, because I should have wanted to fight her. Looking back on it now, I did not deserve what she did to me. And that was my second bully. The first bully I had was in middle school, and she scared me so badly that, like, I was afraid to leave and go home. I was terrified that she'd see me outside of school and beat me to death, basically, which was pretty extreme, but the way that she spoke to me on a daily basis, telling me, if I catch you outside, I'm gonna fuck you up. When you're like 14, 15 years old, that is terrifying. And I think actually I was only like 12 when that was happening, because I was in 7th grade, I think. I was still in middle school. Anyway, I digress. Let me talk about Adriana. Adriana was, she was born on March the 11th, 2008. God, it seems like yesterday. This little girl was so young, you guys. I hate this. I hate this. Anyway. She passed away on February 3rd. She was born in Toledo, Ohio, and lived several places because her father was an Army airborne soldier serving his country. They moved to Bayville 7 years ago. Adriana was a freshman at Central Regional High School. She adored all animals. She helped children with special needs. She loved jogging with her brothers, and she was a true nature lover. Adriana also enjoyed her walks in the woods, skateboarding, riding dune buggies, and dirt bikes. Adriana's mother, Brandy, had predeceased her. She is survived by her loving parents, Michael and Sarah. Also by, I guess Sarah's the stepmother. Also by her cherished siblings, Ashley Kuch, Brittany Kuch, Brandon Tucker, Michael Kuch Jr., and his wife, Jennifer Farrow, Jacob Kuch, Ethan Kuch, Marissa Lynch, and Hayden Lynch. Then it just basically says some things about the memorial which they held in Bayville. They are accepting donations to the Jersey Shore Animal Center. I will put that information in the comment section of this video in case anybody's interested in making a donation in Adriana's name. So that is what it says on her memorial site, on the memorial site for the funeral home. There is a GoFundMe as well, memorial fund for Adriana. And that one says, our beautiful Adriana recently passed away on February 3rd. Adriana was a wonderful and brave daughter who touched the lives of those around her. We are all devastated by her loss, and we were not prepared for the high cost of the expenses to come. So they're asking for donations to help cover the cost of the funeral as well as other legal expenses, because they are seeking justice. And thank God, because let me tell you something. The people that are responsible for this are sick, disgusting people, even though they're children. Like, sometimes children are the worst kind of criminals because they know that they're not going to be, like, charged as adults. They think they can get away with this. Like, look at Aiden Fucci. Like, a perfect example. He's being sentenced in, like, an hour and a half in Florida. And I have been waiting all night for the sun to come up so that it was bright enough in here for me to do a video that you can actually see me and I don't, look like the dead. Because basically when I record at night, the lighting in here is not so great, and I really don't like the way those videos look. And that's not so much my vanity as I don't want you guys to have to look at a crappy video. So let me get into what happened here. Now this, oh God. It's so upsetting to me because this could have been prevented. This absolutely could. This school screwed up so bad. Okay? This school failed this poor little girl like nobody's business. Yeah. So on February 1st, keep in mind she passed away on February 3rd. On February 1st, Adriana was, she was walking down the hallway in school with her boyfriend. You're supposed to be safe in school. They make you walk through metal detectors in most of the schools out there nowadays, and you have to, you're subject to search, and they, they try to make it safe because they think about all the school shootings that happen and all the things that adults do to the kids. They don't pay enough attention to what the kids do to each other. 4 girls walked up to Adriana and her boyfriend in the hallway in the high school, and they first smacked her in the face with a water bottle and then proceeded to pummel and kick at her until she was unconscious on the ground. Her boyfriend had to fend these kids off. And the worst part about this whole thing is one of those sick little bitches was sick enough to record it and put it on TikTok. They texted the girl the video, they posted it online, and then everybody started to bully her online because of the video. She had it coming at her from all sides. That high school, those kids, drove this little girl to kill herself. Again, I'm taking advantage of the fact that YouTube has not monetized me. I can say whatever I want to say. I don't have to say she unalived herself. You guys, she ended her own life. She killed herself. She committed suicide because of what these kids did to her. And I'm going to show you some photos along the way here when I'm in my editing process because I saw them while I was doing the research. I saw the video. I'm not going to post that, but I will put the link in my comment section for you guys if you want to see. News 4 New York has an edited version where the faces are blurred, but you get the gist. It's only a 51-second long video, but it's brutal. I wouldn't have watched it except I felt like I needed to get the full information to be able to explain it to you guys properly, accurately, so that you could understand where I'm coming from. I've been crying about this pretty much all night and waiting for the sun to come up so that I can make this video because I do a lot of true crime cases. I don't even know what number this is on my channel, but this is one of the hardest ones because nobody really thought that this was going to happen. Like, even Adriana's dad, like, she took her to the police station, they pressed charges, they went to the school did not contact him. His daughter contacted him on her cell phone, crying hysterically. He went to the school and they told him one girl beat up his daughter. They left out the other 3. There is nothing that this little girl could have done in the world to prompt that kind of viciousness from other little girls. Little girls are disgusting. You know, like I mentioned Aiden Fucci. It's not always little boys. Little girls are just as gross, just as horrible. Because they think that there's nothing, that they think they're untouchable. They think, well, I can do whatever I want. What are they going to do? Send me to juvie? No. Not this time. This little bitch, I don't even know her name, because, you know, that, unfortunately, is not out there, because she's a juvenile. But, she's been charged with conspiracy to commit aggravated assault on top of a previous charge of harassment. Ocean County prosecutor Bradley Bilber said in a statement, the extra charge was tacked on after further investigation into the disturbing incident inside Central Regional High School in Bayville on February 1st. One other student has been charged with aggravated assault, while another 2 were each facing conspiracy to commit aggravated assault. The identities of the 4 students, again, have not been released because of their ages. The juvenile facing the new charge was served the complaint and then released pending a future court date, according to prosecutors. Central Regional School District community was left stunned and grieving when the 14-year-old Kuch died by suicide on February 3rd, following the brutal beating that was caught on camera and spread on social media. There's a photo that I'm going to share with you guys of, it's a selfie Adriana took, I guess, probably the next day. You can see how her face looks. There's also a picture that she took of her legs in the bathtub, showing that she is bruised, literally head to toe. Her legs are all covered in bruises. There's a couple of stills from the video. One of Adriana's friends told school officials how Adriana filed multiple reports about how she was bullied, and you guys sat there and did nothing. Haley Engesser said, I guess that's the one friend who's gone to the media and, you know, doesn't mind that her name is out there, even though she's, you know, a juvenile. Adriana's family has signaled they plan to take legal action against the school system, which, good. The district's former school chief, I can't even begin to pronounce his name, Triantafylos Parlapanitis? I'm gonna type it up for you guys, because your guess is as good as mine. That's definitely a Greek name, but I don't even know if I pronounced it right. So yeah, I mean, that's the story, and that's what's published, and that's what they've put out there, but, like, it just doesn't feel like enough. It doesn't feel like enough is being done. I just can't believe that this shit still happens. They still haven't got it, like, a way to make this stop. Discussing my situation briefly, well, the middle school one sort of went away by the time we got to high school. That girl kind of forgot about me and just left me alone. But I remember being in, like, 7th grade and her sitting a few seats behind me, throwing shit at me and telling me, your mom buys your clothes at Kmart, I'm gonna beat you up, like, just because she didn't like me. And yeah, so my mom went to Kmart. Kill me. I you know, like, from that point on, I had to make a point to my mother, don't ever buy me clothes at Kmart. Not like they had any way to know that's where my clothes came from, but as a kid, in my head, I'm some kind of pariah because my mother buys things that aren't expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like, ridiculous bullshit that these kids go after each other over. And then the high school one, that's a little more complicated. Not to say I had any fault, because I didn't, because boys lie. Boys love to lie, that's what they do. But in high school, there was a guy who was on the football team who I dated briefly. wouldn't even say dated, because I didn't go out with him. I hooked up with him a couple of times. And at some point he got a girlfriend and didn't tell me, and I was still with him. And then when she found out about me, instead of being pissed off at him, she came at me. She came at me one day while I was sitting there having lunch, just walked out to me and decked me in the back of my head. And I didn't do anything back. I just sat there and took it because, like I said, I wanted to go to my high school prom. Thank you very much. So she is the one who got in trouble for that, but she didn't stop. She didn't stop coming at me and trying to fight me all the time. Discussing those two girls in particular, they're both dead. Well, no, I'm not. I'm incorrect. The one in middle school, she's dead. That something I think recently, something to do with her heart. The other one, the high school one, had some kind of overdose, and as far as I know, is like on life support. Like they're saying she's brain dead and will never come back. And I didn't wish anything bad to ever happen to either one of them. I'm not that kind of person. But I just want to put out there that karma is a bitch and it will get you. Like, no matter who you are or what you think you can accomplish in this world, if you are a bad person, bad things will happen to you. Now, like I said, I didn't wish that to happen to either one of them. But the high school, I mean the middle school one, she was a big girl compared to me. Like, really big, like big boned, a lot taller than me. And just every day wanted to, don't let me catch you outside, I will beat you up. Why? Because your mom buys your clothes at Kmart? I still don't know why that girl hated me so much. I really don't. I think now looking back, it was probably jealousy. She's this big giant thing who never had a boyfriend. And I had plenty of boyfriends. Not saying that I, am anything great or anything, but, I wasn't ugly, like, I was pretty average, I would think. But yeah, that chick she was a mean one, and there was literally no reason I never did anything to her. Nothing. She just didn't like me. The other one, like I said, that was more my fault, but not really though, because like I said, I didn't know he had a girlfriend. He lied to me, which guys do. And you know what else is kind of weird? He's dead too. Yeah, he died like right after high school. I think he was like 26. I don't know, actually. I'm not sure exactly what age he was. It's kind of ironic though, when you think about it. Like, I am telling you, like, karma's a bitch and it will get you. So, be a good person. Don't put it, you spread hate, you get bad things. Bad things. Yeah, so I really wanted to do this story. It's really heartbreaking, and Adriana, there are kids like her all over this country. There are kids going through this every day. And it just, like I said, some of those, like my middle school bully, there's literally no reason. She just wanted to beat me up. And I remember, like, I wouldn't walk a certain way home because I was afraid she'd see me in the parking lot of the little store across the street from our middle school. I went way out of my way because I was always afraid of seeing her outside, because she said if she saw me outside, she was going to kick my ass. And yeah, she would have stomped me because, like I said, she was a big girl. She had at least a foot on me, and she was like, I'm not saying she was fat, she was just big boned. She was a big bitch. And she was so mean. Like, just mean in her heart. I had elementary school bullies, but they grew up and did exactly what I thought. You know where I saw my elementary school bully? In jail. Yeah, there was a mistake in my records when I moved from Pennsylvania to New Jersey, and the police arrested me on a warrant. That was a mistake. So, like, I really was only there for a few hours. But when I got there, sure enough, there's my elementary school bully, who, like, she was a bully to everybody. She was the kid who pushed you down in the playground. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was just a bratty kid. She wasn't so much a bully. But, like, when you're little, like, I'm talking elementary school, like kindergarten to 5th grade, like little kids, how they push each other down, and she was like a mean little kid, but as we got older, we didn't have a problem with each other. It was the same thing with the big bitch from middle school. Once we got into high school, she left me alone because you know why? I became more popular in high school, and I think she was a nobody, and I guess she probably didn't want me to point that out to her, you know? Yeah, but that's about it. Like, I just wanted to share it. Like, I just am so bothered by this whole thing. Like, it's just so freaking horrible. I feel so bad for her family. I feel so bad for her friends. I feel for her boyfriend who tried to break it up, and I'm sure who tried to, like, convince her it wasn't her fault. But she really just decided she didn't want to be here anymore on this earth to deal with people like that. And I can't say I blame her, because I remember feeling like that. But it was the feeling inside me was stronger that I didn't want to hurt my family that way by killing myself. Like, am I going to let her win by, you know what I mean? Like, you have to, that voice in your own head has to be stronger than your bully's voice. And some kids just can't do that. And I understand it. I do. I really, really do. Yeah, but I think if I was pushed to suicide in middle school or in high school, either one of those girls would have been dancing at my funeral. They hated me. I mean, the first one had no reason to hate me. The second one, she had her reasons, even though they were wrong. And I tried to tell her 7 million times, I didn't know you were with him. Didn't matter. But it's funny how they're all dead. And I'm not that old. I'm only 46, you know what I mean? So anybody I went to high school with is my age. They should still be here when you think about it. But, like I said, karma. Bad things happen to bad people, so be good. Alright, I'm gonna go, you guys. I'm kind of tired. I've been up all night. I was just waiting for the sun to come up so I have decent lighting. But yeah, I love you guys. I'm going to get this edited and try and get it up on my channel soon so you can see it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.